let's talk about rounding decimals. Now, rounding decimals are going to have the same rules as rounding whole numbers. So first things first, let's talk about place value. Now, anything to the left of the decimal place, right? This is where we get into our whole numbers. And anything to the right, these are our decimals. So part of it is understanding place value. So if we're talking about tenths, we're just talking about one place past. Hundredths, 2 place. Thousandths, 3 place. Okay, now the rounding rules. So remember, if we are rounding, the number that we look at, if it is less than 5, we round down, which means we stay the same. If the number is greater than or equal to 5, we round up. Now, part of that is thinking, okay, let's say that we have the number 3 and 27 hundredths, and we want to round to the nearest tenth. So I'm a very visual learner. So when I say tenth, the 2 is in the tenths place. So to round, I look one place past at the 7. The 7 is greater than 5, so it's telling me to round up. So I would end up with 3 and 3/10 as the rounded place, right? So I like to underline the place value I'm rounding to and draw an arrow of what I need to look at to tell me what to round. Let's do some examples. Let's round 23 and 763 thousandths to the nearest tenth. Okay, so tenths place, that's the first place past the decimal point, which means I'm looking at the 6 to tell me whether I round up or down. Now, 6 is greater than 5, so that means I round up. So the 7 is going to round to an 8. So this becomes 23 and 8/10. Done. Round 0.35183. So this is 35,183 hundred thousandths. Whew. It's very big. Okay, well, actually very small because it's a decimal. I need to go back to bed. Okay, so we're going to round to the nearest hundredth. Hundredth is the second place after the decimal. So I'm looking at the 1. And that 1 tells me to round down, which means my number stays the same. So the 5 is not going to change, but because I'm rounding, my final answer is just 35 hundredths, and that's it. So everything else just kind of drops down after you round. Let's do one more. Let's round 1.39286163 to the nearest thousandth. Well, thousandths is 1 to the 3rd place after the decimal. So I'm going to look at the 8 to tell me where to round. 8 is greater than 5, so I round up. So my 2 is going to round up, and I end up with 1.393. Nearest thousandths. So the key really is to make sure you understand tenths, hundred thousandths, 10 thousandths, 100 thousandths, and it goes on and on and on. But as long as you understand your place value, then when you go to round your different numbers, give yourself a visual. Underline the place you want to go to, draw yourself an arrow so you know what number you're looking at, and go with it so that you can round correctly.